Hello everyone, I'm glad to welcome you on our online workshop called How to Manage a Company During the Crisis. First of all, let's get acquainted. And I will introduce myself and I will ask you to write down a little message about your business. Please specify the following information in this message. What is the industry where are you working? Where you have business? What is your role in your business? You are a business owner or a top manager, maybe you are a chief marketing officer, chief financial officer. Please write down this information. Write down where are you from, where are you working, what is your country and the city where your company is located. And it is also will be very useful if you write down the number of employees in your company, because it will help me to adapt the content that I will give to you on this online workshop exactly to the size of your business. So please write this information down in the chat window that you see near this video screen. Please, for me, it's important that you give me feedback during our conversation, because you can see me and I can't see you. So for me, it's important to get your messages. Please write it down. And while you're introducing yourself, I will tell a few words about me, about myself. My name is Kirill Kunitsky. I'm the founder of a company named Business Constructor. Business Constructor, it's an international educational and consulting company. We work with business owners from all around the world, and we are helping them to build a systematic, to build a system of management and marketing inside their businesses. So we are working with business owners who have gaps in different competencies that they need to have to manage their business properly. Because as you know, every business owner, when he starts his business, when he runs a startup, he has a lack of competences. And sometimes when you don't know how to manage your finances properly, how to hire people properly in your business, how to build marketing and sales funnels in your business, sometimes you do mistakes, and it creates a problem in the future. So you need to rebuild your company after. So we work, we educate, we learn, we teach business owner, and we help them to implement all instruments inside of their business. We have more than 25,000 customers in last 7 years, so we from all around the world. Our target audience is business owner and top management. First of all, we work with business owners, and after we work with top management of their companies, because you know, it's very important that the top management, all the chief marketing officer, chief financial officer, HRD, and others, top managers of the company, they should be on the same page, and they need to have the common competences, the same language that they use to run their business. So it's that's why we work always with business owners and their top management. And the core, the you know, like DNA of our methodology is the complex systematization approach. So we work with every business like with a system. You know, if we look what the system is, every system is a mix of elements that should be connected, which each one with another to run some function. So we look at every business like a system. And today I will try to explain to use this systematic approach to running a business during the crisis. It's a short information about my company. Thank you for your introduction. I see your messages, so thank you. For me, it's important to get feedback from you during our conversation. What topics will we cover during this short online workshop? Actually, it's not so short because we will spend together almost 2 hours, but I will try to give you the instruments, the tools that you can implement in your business right after this online workshop. So I will try to be as practical as possible. In any case, I will ask you to give me feedback. Is it interesting? Is it useful? Is it helpful for you during this conversation? So I will try to be interactive with you. First of all, we will discuss the nature of crisis. We will look what the crisis is in terms of economic, how the crisis influences your market, and what to expect. Yes, because now we all face this situation when your market sometimes it gets smaller. Sometimes it's some of you has a big problem because your market is stopped completely because, for example, of quarantine. So that's why we need to make a forecast. What will happen with your market after this situation, after this quarantine, and later during this crisis? What market changes? How market changes during the crisis? Which the most important survival tools should you use in your company? First of all, we will discuss how to manage your cash flow, and I will explain you how to take control over your cash flow, because the cash flow management is the first security tool that you need to use during the crisis, because what can cause a big problem for you is a cash flow gap, is the situations when you cannot pay your bills, and it's a big problem. So we will discuss this question today. We will discuss how to change your business model because of crisis, because of market change, because now it's important to change. You know, you don't have right to stay and not to change, because any company who will try just to wait until this quarantine ends, and if you hope that after this the market will return to its previous volume, no, it will not return, and we will discuss it today, and how to change your business model, how to use the crisis as an opportunity, not only to survive, but to use the crisis as an opportunity for your business. We will discuss the anti-crisis marketing and sales strategies. I will give you some tools that will help you to multiply your sales today, even during the crisis. We will discuss the optimization of an organizational structure and business processes of your business. We will discuss the key principles of working with a team, how to keep the motivation of your team, how to keep this good mood, you know, and good corporate culture in your team during the crisis. We will discuss the key tools for increasing the speed of change. It's also very important because now you need to change very quickly, and I will give you some tips how to improve, how to change very fast today, because it's very important for every business. Okay, we will start right now. It was a small introduction and small meeting. I see I will sometimes I will get to our chat and to read your messages. Thank you very much. By the way, please write down what in the actual situation, if we take a look at your turnover, yes, the total volume of sales of your company, what is how the crisis already affected your sales? For example, maybe you have minus 30%, maybe you have minus 50%, maybe you keep your sales volume, maybe your volume of sales rised up even in the times of crisis. So please write down how your sales changed today, comparing with the same period in the previous year. It will be also very important. Please write it down. And I will start with a small, you know, the philosophy of anti-crisis management. And during these times, you need to understand that you are either fast or dead. Now you need to change very quickly. It's very important to change very quickly. And this is the main skill of an effective business owner, the ability to adapt to changes. It's very important. You need to be very adaptive today. You need to adapt your business to changes. And it is the main skill of every business owner. I will give you some tools that you need to implement in your business to change quickly. First of all, let's discuss what the crisis is in terms of economy, how the crisis affects your market. Before you had, if you see this yellow circle, this is the total volume of your market. The blue part of this circle is your market share. For example, you have a company with a turnover of $10 million. For example, $10 million is your yearly turnover. And the volume of your market where your company is working is $1 billion, for example. 10 millions against 1 billion market volume. So you have a market share of 1% of market in such case, if you have such mathematics in your business. Then, when you have a crisis, what happens? The volume of market gets smaller. Not to zero. During every crisis, if you look back at every crisis, at crisis 2008, 2009, for example, you will see that every market had problem with volume, so all the market got smaller, but after some times, the market returned to its volume and got even bigger. So it will happen again, and what you need to do now, when your market gets smaller, you need to grow your market share. Despite of the crisis. For example, the volume of your market was $1 billion a year. For example, you can be, for example, a construction company, or you can be a company who is doing, for example, some consulting services. I see your messages. I will read it for a while. Yeah, I see food industry. For example, you are in the food industry. Yes, you are producing some kind of food, and you're selling it, for example, to supermarkets or to restaurants, or you have maybe some online business. And the market of the volume of your market was, for example, $1 billion a year. The whole amount of sales of every company who is producing food or selling food. So the total amount, for example, it was $1 billion. And you have your sales volume, for example, 10 million. You know your numbers, but I'm saying, for example, 10 million. And during the crisis, the total amount of the whole volume of the market gets smaller. So it was 1 billion, it becomes $800 million. And what happens if you keep your market share? Before you had 10 million, now you get 8 million. And if you take your profit margin, your gross margin and your profit margin, you get less money. You earn less money, and you have less money to cover your administrative expenses. And you need to cut your expenses, and it becomes a problem. So you need to cut your business. If you do this, what you see on the screen, if you grow your market share despite of the crisis, you can keep your sales volume, even grow despite of the crisis, if you have a big enough market. And it's very important to always choose a big enough market to grow, even when the market is falling. For example, I will show you a little example. It's if we take a tourism market, and we see what happened with tourism market during the crisis 2008, 2009, 2010. You can see that before 2008, the market was growing. The tourism market was growing, and in 2009, it has fallen. It became smaller. But after this, it continues to grow. And if we see the year 2012, for example, it already, even 2011, it became already bigger than the previous market volume than before crisis. So every market, it will fall for some time. The recession continues usually for about 1 year and a half, 2 years, and after this, it starts to grow again. So this is what you need to expect from your market. So the crisis is not forever. It's a normal cycle. The recession in the business is a normal cycle. So now we need to do following things. We need to survive, not to close your business during when the market is falling. So second thing, you need to change your business. You need to adapt your business to new market. And third thing, you need to grow despite of the crisis. This we will discuss the tools for this now. Okay, the most effective will survive. It's true, and you know, there is a joke. Maybe you know this joke that two tourists are walking through the forest, somewhere in jungles, for example, and they see a tiger who is running towards them from the jungle. They see a tiger, and one of these tourists he starts running away, but the second tourist he stops. He takes his bag, he takes sport shoes out of his bag, and he starts putting this sport shoe. The second tourist, he looks at him and he is astonished. He says, "What are you doing? Are you planning to run faster than a tiger with your sport shoes?" And his friend is saying, "No, I don't need to run faster than a tiger. I need to run faster than you." And this is what will happen during the crisis. The crisis will affect every company. Every company will feel crisis and will feel that it will be harder to attract new customers, to keep this customer, to keep the volume of sales. But you need to understand that the problem of many companies on the market is that they are not very effective. They have a lot of problems inside. For example, they do not have the systematic logic of attracting new customers. They don't have a funnels that help them to attract new customers systematically. They do not have organizational structures inside. They do not have effective business processes. They have weak teams. The teams that were hired, nobody knows how these people got into the company, and the corporate culture sometimes is very bad inside. They do not have good financial management, good operating management. So a lot of companies of the market are not very effective. And this is a good opportunity for you, because a lot of companies will close. So will we see the company closing during the crisis? Of course, we will see maybe 10%, maybe 20%, maybe 30% of company on your market will close. But you need to be more effective. Today you need to put on your sports shoes, you know, to run faster than others, because this tiger, it's the analogy of our crisis today. And first thing that you need to do, that you need to implement during the actual situation, is to take control over the cash flow. By the way, please write down how do you manage your finances today. So do you have 3 key financial reports? It's balance sheet, it's P&L or income statement, and cash flow statement. Do you have these 3 reports, or if not, how do you manage your finances? What are the key reports that you see every month to understand the financial situation in your business? Please write it down. Okay. Yes, my friends, I will ask you to be active in this chat, because it helps me to understand that you are still here with me, that we are communicated, because you can see me, I cannot see you. So for me, it's important to get your responses. Okay. For every company, it's very important to have 3 key financial reports: balance sheet, income statement, and cash flow statement. Today we're not going to talk about the details of these reports, but I will talk about the cash flow statement. Cash flow represents how the cash flows in your company, the inflow and outflow of cash in your company. So how cash is coming from where the cash is coming to a company and where do you pay this cash. And the difference between incoming and outgoing cash in your company is called net cash flow. And net cash flow changes the actual financial situation. Had $50,000 on your bank account and you have a net cash flow, for example, of $20,000 during 1 month. So at the end of the month, you will have $70,000 on your bank account. And in opposite, if your net cash flow is negative, so you pay more than you get, you pay more money than you get, then you have a negative net cash flow, and you will have less money at the end of the month. So it's important to make a projection of your cash flow. And what you need to do for this? What you need to do for this? First of all, you need to have an effective organizational structure. I will discuss it later. And in this organizational structure, you need to have a center of responsibility who is responsible for financial management. It can be a chief financial officer, for example. And today, and you need to build a forecast of cash flow. Then you see now on the screen an example of cash flow statement of cash flow forecast, where you can see 3 groups of cash flow: operating cash flow, investing cash flow, and financing cash flow. And the total amount of 3 cash flows gives you net cash flow of your company, which affects your final amount of money that you have on your balance. So this is the first thing you need to do. If you have a very hard situation now, so if for example you have a lack of cash and you understand that every day can become a problem, you can get a problem with your cash flow, then the steps that you make a cash flow forecast will be day by day. It will be day by day. If you have the situation that is quite normal, so you don't have big problems, the big risk of cash flow gap in your company right now, so in this case you can do forecast week by week. So it will be weekly forecast. So each column in this table, it will be 1 week. But in any case, your financial manager or chief financial officer, he needs to be in, or she needs to be in contact every day with your centers of sales, the centers of responsibility who are responsible for sales in your company, and other top managers who are responsible for spending money, and this person needs to get forecasts from them and to build this cash flow projection in 3 scenarios: the optimistic, realistic, and pessimistic scenarios. And thus you can understand what will happen with your cash flow in the future. This is the first thing you need to do today during the crisis. The next thing that you need to do is to define the stop losses. Stop loss is a word that I took from the stock market. Maybe if you were working on the stock market before and you understand how when you are trading stocks, yes, and when you are buying stocks, you always should define a take profit point and stop loss point. Stop loss is a point where you take decision to stop losses. For example, if the situation goes against you, so if you are trying to fight against this crisis, but you're trying to sell to attract new customers to get more money, but in some period of time you see that the situation gets worse and you have a lack of money, so you have a cash flow gap, for example. So you don't need to wait too long. It's very dangerous to wait too long, and especially if you take if you start to get credits from the bank, yes, loans from the bank. It's very dangerous sometimes, because later you can have the situation when your business is closed, but you took a lot of credits for yourself and you need to pay them during a big period of time. So you need to define the point when you take decision. It will be like a table with the specific dates. For example, example, you say the 1st of May, the 15th of May, the 1st of June, etc. So you define dates where you take decisions. You write down different criteria of different scenario that you can have in your company, and your actions in optimistic case in this point, and pessimistic and realistic. So you define different scenarios. What will be your action? So it's an action plan that you write down in advance, depending on different situation that you will have in your company. It's called stop losses. The next thing, you need to get organizational structure under control. Here I will ask you to write down the answer to the following question. Do you have an organizational structure in the company that every employee understands very well, very clear? So do you have the chart where you have every employee in each department in this chart, like you see now an example on the screen? Do you have something similar to this in your company that every employee understands? It's important to understand this, because if you don't have this, if you don't have this organizational structure, you will have a mess. You will have a mess. You will have a lot of people whom I'm calling hybrids. Hybrids are the people who mix different activities in their role in the company. For example, he can be involved in sales, in supplying, in production. So he can do many roles. Reinstall the Windows when they have problem. Yeah, I see that someone has this organizational structure. If you don't have this structure, please write it down also. It's also interesting. So it's important to have it. If you don't have the organizational structure, it's important to create this structure. But then what you need to do with your structure, you need to carry out an ABC analysis of your personnel. What does it mean, the ABC analysis? It means that in your structure, you divide all people who is working in your company into three groups. Category A, the green one on the screen on the drawing. This is the people from whom you are very dependent. So this, if you fire these people, if they are not in your company tomorrow, your business will stop. So these are very important people for your business to continue to run. The second category, category B, the yellow one, are the people who with whom you have more efficiency. So they help you to be more efficient like a company. So it's more comfortable to work with them. But without them, it's possible to work. Maybe it will be less effective, but it's possible. Your business will continue to work. And the second category, the third category, the category C, is the category that if you fire these people, it will be no problem for your company. So in every company you can find people who are, for example, they were you hired these people for some activities that you don't need now. For example, it's not important, and you can fire them without a problem. And you make a table like you see on the screen, where you write down the list of personnel in your company. You define and you see three parameters that you choose for each person in your company. First of all, it's importance for the company survival. Is this person how this person is important for a company to survive? So A, very important. B, so. C, it's no problem to fire him. But also please specify the soft skills and hard skills. Soft skills, it means the personal characteristic of this person. So will you take this person again, knowing his personal characteristic, knowing his character, knowing his way of thinking, is he result oriented, is he smart enough? So if you know his soft skills, will you hire him again? And the same thing is the hard skill. So for example, he needs to know some software, he needs to know some technical details about your products or his work tasks. So you make this let's say attestation of every employee. And if the person have category C in any role in this table, you can actually fire him. Now it's normal. Now it's not the time to keep the weak people in your company. You need to have a very strong team today. You need to have a very strong team today. So ABC analysis helps you to define the way how you will what you will do with your personnel during the different situation. And when you define stop losses in this table that I was talking before, you define with whom you are continue to work and with whom you will fire during this future points of taking decision. Okay, let's continue. And the next thing that you need to do during the crisis, you need to unite the team and set up the regular management. It is very important because in many companies they have chaos in management. Chaos. They have spontaneous meetings. When, for example, a business owner, he got to the masterclass like this. He learned something, and today or tomorrow he's calling his team. He's telling, "Oh, everyone come here. I want to do a meeting." And he starts to saying, "We are changing our business model. We are changing our organizational structure. We are you two, you are fired. You two, you do their job." So he starts to make mess, and people are shocked. But you know, the old employees who are working in your company for a long time, they're saying that, okay, don't worry, guys, we wait for 3 days and he will forget it. And actually, he forgets it because, you know, he's very unfocused person. If the person is very unfocused, but the business owner is always very unfocused, he forgets things. He starts some activities in his business after he switches his focus to another question, and the thing stops. So you need to change this. You need to change this. And I will give you some key team management principles that you need to carry out now. First of all, maintaining a single informational field. It's very important. So it's very important that everyone in your team to be on the same page. It means that everyone needs to understand the actual situation in your company. For example, if you have a lack of cash flow, they need to understand this. If you decided to fire some people and you fired them, so you don't need to wait until the rumors will get to the people and they will discuss, well, they fired this person, it's not so good, so they will discuss you in a bad light. You don't need to do this. You need to be the first who is communicating with your team. So I recommend to make a regular digest for a team. It can be some group in some messenger, or it can be email that you are sending to your team, or it can be some software if you have some, for example, HRM system to communicate with your personnel in your company. And every week you send a digest. Sometimes you can send it even twice a week. And you say, you know, it's like a newspaper inside of the company where you send all the news. And also it's very recommended to have a personal CEO communication to your company, to your team. It's very easy. You can take your phone. And you can write a little video to your company every week. And you're saying, guys, hello, I will tell you a few words about this actual situation. Of course, if your company is very small and you see your personnel every day, of course, during the quarantine you can have less access to your personnel, and you will need to use this video communication, of course. And also, if your company is very big, this video communication will help you to stay in contact with your company. So every week you send a digest to a team, and you write a small video for the people. It's very important. The next thing. Task and project management system. By the way, write down, do you have some software that you are using to for task management in your company? For example, if you need to put some task to some person, to give some task to some person, do you give it by just sending him an email or message in some WhatsApp, or you have some software, for example, Asana, Basecamp? Do you use some of such software? Because it's also very important today. Task and project management system to be very systematic in task and project management. The next thing is a high frequency of regular management. What does it mean? During the crisis, you need to meet your team, your people more often than in normal time. Because, for example, when you have a meeting one time per 2 weeks. One time per 2 weeks, you are a top manager and you have your team and you have a meeting one time per 2 weeks. It creates a problem because during these 2 weeks, your people, your personnel, your employees can do some errors, some mistakes, and you cannot see this. And you will see this after 2 weeks. You come and you see, hey, you didn't do this, or you did some mistake. And during the normal period of work, it's okay, because you have right for the mistake. But during the crisis, you don't have right for the mistake. That's why you need to meet your team more often. And every top manager of your company needs to meet his team more often. So he needs to have this regular management very often. Also, it's very important to conduct an effective meetings, to be very effective with meetings, because in many okay, yeah, I see your messages. Thank you very much for your answers. In many companies, they have problems with an effectiveness of meetings that they conduct in the company. For example, very often I see such situations with business owners. When the business owner, he invites a lot of people to the meeting, he has 10, 15 people on the meeting, and he starts to speak with 1 or 2 people about some question, which is very, very important, some very important questions, and he needs to discuss. But the rest of the team, they are waiting, because this question is not about them. He's discussing one by one a lot of questions, and he spends a lot of time of his team, and after this meeting, the people get out, they are tired of this meeting. They do not want again to go to this meeting because it's very ineffective. And for you, it's important to do an effective meeting. And my recommendation is the following: do short meetings with small groups. So it's better to have to conduct 5 meetings with 1 or 2 persons, and then to make some common meeting for 10 minutes, you know, just to give the results. Then to have these big meetings. You divide your timeline into parts, for example, for 15 minutes or 20 minutes, and you invite small groups, and you discuss this question, especially when you do these meetings online. For example, you use Zoom or you use Google Hangouts. It's very, very easy to do small meetings. So it's important it's better than you have these small meetings instead of big group that you're inviting. The next thing is also, by the way, during the meetings, it's also very important to have good time management of the meeting. So you need to have agenda of the meeting, and you need to manage time. And I recommend to choose one of participants of the meeting as a moderator. It's very important to have a moderator of the meeting, the person who will control the time, control the time of your meeting. The next thing is the high level of energy and motivation. You know, I'm always saying that if you are a top manager or CEO of the company, you do not have right for bad mood. You cannot come to your team and say, guys, everything is so bad, we will die tomorrow. You cannot do this, because you are a leader. You are a leader, and you know you need to understand that emotion is the fuel for good execution. It's a fuel for good execution. You cannot take you know, a good car, a Ferrari, put in the bad fuel and then wait that this car will be very good. So it will not run very good. And the same thing with the personnel in your company. And you need to be leader. You need to be the main motivator of your company. You know, every leader needs to be a Tony Robbins for their team. You need to be a Tony Robbins for your team. You know Tony Robbins, the motivating speaker. So you need to be Tony Robbins, even in the times of crisis, even when the situation is hard. Especially when the situation is hard, you need to be very motivating to your team. And it's also, and you need to keep your own level of energy at the high level. It's very important. But for this, you need to control your thoughts. You know, it's all this starts with your way of thinking, because you know, the chemistry of your body, the emotions that you are feeling, it's resulting from your thoughts. So you need to control your thoughts, and you need to not to let not to let these bad thoughts, the pessimism come to your head. It's very, very dangerous today. So, and it's also important to have taboo on destructive conflicts. Taboo on destructive conflicts. There are two types of conflicts that you can have in your company. There are constructive conflicts and there are destructive conflicts. What is the difference? Constructive conflicts are the conflicts that when the people disagree one with each other, but they discuss the question. It's very good when people disagree, because you know, you have 2 points of view. Or 2 points of view on some matter, but when the conflict is constructive, they disagree one with each other, but they are looking for the best decision. When the conflict is destructive, we have a personal conflict. They get into personalities and they start fighting, saying some bad things one to each other, and it creates a big mess inside your company. It's a virus, you know. Now everyone is talking about virus. So destructive conflicts can become a virus in your company, and it's very important to avoid this. The next thing that you need to do now is you need to adapt your business model to the changing market. As we were looking before, during the crisis, the volume of the market gets smaller, but after it gets bigger again. So the DNA of every business is its business model. Business model describes what your business is. If you look at your business, what your business is. I see that there are different companies here on our online workshop, and every one of you has its own business model. Let's see at what business model is. Here on this schema, it's very it's a simple explanation what business model is. On the right side, you see your market. Yeah, you see the black part. It's your market share, and the other parts of the circle are the market shares of your competitors. Also, you have some potential demand, so that the demand or the potential customers that are that actually do not buy your type of products, for different reasons, but now they do not buy. They need this product, but they do not buy it. The inside circle with these parts is the actual market volume, and you have your market share. On the left side, you see your products, and there are alternatives. These are your competitors, and you need to know your competitors very well. You need to learn to make research about your competitors. You need to know it very well, and you need to be sure that your product, your proposition is the best on the market, the best proposition on the market. So this is a simple explanation of business model. I will give you a list of questions. I call it business growth formula. Business growth formula. There are nine questions. I will show these questions to you. If you have a positive answer to all these questions, then you don't need to worry. Your business will grow even in times of crisis. If you have negative questions answers to some questions, it's a problem, and you need to solve it as soon as possible. By the way, I will show you these questions right now, and please count for how many of these questions you have positive answer. It will be very interesting at the end. So I will show you this question. You count if you have positive. If you have answered yes to some question, you count it, and after this you write the amount of answers that for which you have positive answer. Okay. First of all, is your target market big enough for a company to grow? It means that you have much more potential customer on your market than your actual customer base right now. For example, you have 1,000 of customers at the moment, and you understand that on the market there are 20,000 potential customers. So you have a space to grow, even if the market gets smaller, even if 30% of these potential customers stop buying, but the market is big enough to grow. So it's the first question. The second question, do you know and understand your target customer well? Are you in contact with your target customer? Are you attracting your customer, your potential customers or your actual customers to discuss your business model, your product, to ask their opinion about your company, about your competitors? So are you doing this? Do you know your competitors well? Do you know the volume of sales of your competitors? Do you know the list? Do you have a list of your competitors? And do you know the volume of sales? Do you know the number of employees in their companies? Do you know how systematic their business is? Do you know how they attract customers? Do you know the details of their proposition? What is their service like? So are they giving a good quality to customers? So it's very important. And then, do you have a competitive strategy that makes your company the absolute #1 choice? So if you put yourself on the place of your potential customer and you compare your proposition with other propositions on the market. So are there some reasons why your proposition will be the best on the market? It's also why your potential customer will choose exactly your company, not the other company. So is there a competitive strategy? The next thing, do you have the clear logic of a multi-channel system for attracting new customers? So by the way, tell me please, who is responsible in your company for attracting new customers? Is there a person who is working only on this? So his only role in the company is only to attract new customers. Do you have such person? If, for example, if it's you, like a CEO, like the business owner, if you personally are attracting your new customers, but it's not this situation. I mean, do you have an employee or the top manager who is responsible only for attracting new customers? It's also very important. Yeah, I see, for example, that Jake has a marketing manager. Okay, thank you. Let's continue. Let's continue. The next question, do you have any products or services for upselling and cross-selling? Because it's very important to do not have, you know, the short deals with your customer. When you attracted your customers, you got some gross profit from this deal, and then the customer is saying, thank you very much, it was very good, and he's leaving. No, you need to keep the relationship with your customer, and for this you need the ability to upsell and cross-sell. So you need to have a list of products or services that you can continue selling to your customer. It's important, it's a part of your business model. Do you retain your customer base and constantly improve LTV? LTV, it's lifetime value, the total amount of money that your every customer leaves in your company when he's using your products or services. Do you work on retention of your customers? The next thing, do you control the satisfaction of your customers and reputation of the company in the market? So do you do you ask your customers how it was after using your product or services, their opinion? And do you control the rumors that are going about your company on the market, in the internet, in social media? So do you control this? It's very important. And do you carry out systematic work on developing your company brand? Are you developing your brand constantly? You know, the simple indicator of this is also, for example, ask yourself a question. How many potential customers are on the market? For example, 20,000. Okay, 20,000 potential customers. And how many of these potential customers know about the existence of my company? For example, you say, okay, I have about 20,000 potential customers on the market, but I don't know, maybe 1,000 of them know about the existence of my company. The others even don't know. And even if they know about the existence of your company, what is their opinion about your company? Are they in love with your company? You understand, for example, the level, the power of brand like Apple, for example. Yeah, there are thousands or millions of people who love this brand. Do you have such people on the market who know your brand and who love your brand? And it's the result of your activities when you have such situation. So please write down. You have 9 questions on the screen. Please write down for which question, for how many questions you have positive answer. for how many questions you have positive answers. So please write down just one number. Yeah, you have, for example, 5, 9, 3. So how many, for how many questions? Okay, thank you very much. 5. Okay. I see that someone, Melvin, is writing very detailed answers. Thank you very much. Thank you for detailed answer. Okay, thank you. Thank you for your answers. Okay, we continue. So you checked this question. If for some of this question you said no, I don't have the positive answer for this question, then it's your homework to do this. So it's, you already can write some action plan for answering on to this question. And it's very important because if you have positive answers to this question, you have a potential for growing your business despite of the crisis, because the crisis is not forever, as we talked already. It's a temporary situation when your market gets smaller, but then it gets bigger again. But when it will get smaller, you know, it's like with in a joke with a tiger. So the one who had sport shoes, he is running faster than the other, and he is alive. The others will be dead, and there will be a lot of company who will close during this time. So you need to be faster than the others, and for this you need to, the first things, you need to find answers. You need to have positive answers to all these questions. The next thing, you need to increase the efficiency and aggressiveness of marketing and sales. What does it mean? It means that you cannot continue to attract your customers the way that you were doing this before. By the way, please write down the main channels, the main sources of attracting new customers. From where your customers are coming usually. Do they come from the internet? Do they come from the good reputation of your company, the word of mouth, for example, your client are recommending your company? Or this is your personal activity, for example, you are like a business owner, you are going to different meetings and you are trying to attract new customers. Or you have a sales team who are negotiating with potential customers. For example, if you are in B2B market, and there are many markets where internet marketing is not working very well. For example, if you are selling some industrial equipment to some, for example, melting plants or metallurgical plants. So it's very hard to attract the customer with digital marketing. You need to go there directly. You need to negotiate. You need to present your equipment, and you need to you need to take different inquiries for them, and then to make specific offers. Okay. Good reviews, social media. Okay, mostly returning customer. Okay, so today I will show you 2 ways of attracting customer, and it's very important to have it systematic. So it should not be, some activities that you do not control. You need to control the system of attracting new customers. There are 2 types of system for attracting new customers. It's called 2 approaches. Inbound approach and outbound approach. What is the difference? The inbound approach is the approach when you are communicating with your market, your company in person, or you have good reviews from your client, and you have new clients, new customers who sees this information, and they're saying, oh, this company is interesting. Let's go and let's make some order in this company. So they're coming themselves. You do not pull them, to come. They come themselves. The outbound approach is the approach that when you are more active, more aggressive. When you are coming to the customer and you are saying, hello, I see that you have a problem. For example, we are producing some furniture. We are producing furniture for the restaurant, for example, or for the hotel. And hello, I see that you are constructing a new hotel. We are a company who is furniture production. We are producing furniture, and we would like to make offer to you. We want to supply furniture for your company. And so you are more active. Normally, when the market is full of clients, when there is no crisis on the market, it's good to work in an inbound model. By the way, I will show you the schema how to this funnel works. So you have some reach, advertising reach that you do with your advertising channels. Then you manage your traffic. Then traffic can be online or offline. Then you get some leads. You need to have a strong lead generation. Yeah, lead is as a contact information of your potential customer. By the way, for this you need to manage your sales. You need to have a CRM system. Do you have, by the way, do you have a CRM system? And if so, which one do you use? It's also very interesting for, I think, for everybody to read your answer. So which CRM system are you using to manage your sales? If not, please write down that no, I don't have CRM. Also very interesting. So you create some advertising reach, you manage your traffic, you manage your lead generation process. Then you have a good sales manager, and it's very important to have the sales team separate from all other processes in the company. So the salesperson, the salesman, they need to be focused. The sales force needs to be focused on sales. It's very bad when the person who is occupied with sales, he's doing sales. Then he's in person, he's working with existing clients. He's doing some logistics things. So it's very bad situation. You need to separate, to isolate your sales team in your organizational structure, because you get effectiveness when the person who is doing something in the company is focused on this. And you need to, if you want to have very effective sales, you need to have focused salesmen, the focused sales force in your company. It's very important with a good CRM system. Zoho CRM, very good. Yeah. By the way, we are also using Zoho CRM in our company, so we're using the same tool. Okay, the next thing, it's an inbound customer acquisition funnel. Yeah. Here you have a general review of this funnel, because of course when we take every business, we start to think which elements, which instruments, which tools we can use on every level of this funnel. So which advertising tools we can use to create knowledge about your company and to develop loyalty from your potential customers to your company. How do we attract traffic? So is it online traffic? Is it offline traffic? Even a phone calls that you get to your company is a traffic. How do you generate leads? The contact information about your potential customer. What represents your sales process? How do you manage this process? How do you do your account management? How do you work with your existing customers? And how do you do repeat sales in your company? How do you repeat sales? How do you upsell and cross sell? So this is inbound. What is the difference with outbound? By the way, the inbound is working very good with B2C segment of the market. You understand, B2C, business to consumer, business to customer. If you are working in B2B, so you're working with corporate clients. In any case, even if you don't have crisis on the market, you need to have a powerful outbound strategy as well. What is the outbound? What is the outbound strategy? By the way, write down if you are working in B2C, B2B, or the both segments. Please write down also. It's also will be very useful. So what is the outbound? Now you see the outbound customer funnel. Here you have also some advertising reach, but you do not count on advertising like a source of attracting new customers. So it's not because your customers are not coming themselves to your market. They can see your advertising. For example, now you're looking this webinar, and you are potential customers of Business Constructor company, of my company, and this is also a kind of advertisement, but this is what we call content marketing. So I'm not saying, guys, please come to us and we can give you some value, we can make your business more successful, more systematic. No, I'm just giving you some instrument, and you decide. You see, you're listening to me and you decide for yourself. Do I trust this guy? Do I think that this guy knows something about the business, and can he help me in my business, for example, and with him team? Because we have a big team. We have 140 people in the company, so, and half of them are business analytics who work with different parts of business. So, and this is also a type of advertisement. But now, for example, if I take my company, I'm working with you in inbound way of working. So I'm creating knowledge about myself. I'm initiating some traffic. Yes, people are coming to, for example, this online webinars. They are listening, and if you have trust to me and you see that for potentially this guy and his company can solve my problems, so you send me a message and we start negotiating, we start discussing. This is how inbound works. Outbound is the other way of working. It's when we use analytics to attract leads. So, for example, you are working on construction materials market, yes, and you are selling construction materials to different companies, and you understand that my potential customer is a construction company who is who continues to build their buildings, and they have a budget for buying construction materials that I can sell. So you are not waiting until this potential construction company will come to use themselves. No, you don't wait for this. You you take some guy you call him an analytic, and this guy, he's looking through different databases, he's looking through internet, he's searching all around to find information about potential customers. And he makes lists of these potential customers. And he puts these lists to your CRM system. And then the sales manager gets this list of potential customers, and he's working in cold way. So the first contact is what we call the cold meeting. So when your customer doesn't know information about you and you're coming, you say, hello, you're a construction company, okay, and we are selling some pipes, for example, some pipes or some cables or some bricks for your construction, and we can sell, we can make a deal. So you are active in this, and you have a sales team that is working directly with your potential clients, but in active way. Then it's similar to the inbound traffic. So for client management, repeat sales, the difference between inbound and outbound strategy is that in inbound we hit the market. We give a lot of contact, a lot of information about our company. We work with influencers on the market to stimulate the customers to come themselves. In outbound approach, you come to your company yourself. So, for example, if I take a look at the company who are presenting here, and I see, for example, for example, there is Melvin. He's working in industry of construction and food industries. Yes, and for example, it's sure that you are buying some goods. For example, if you are working in construction, you're buying, for example, construction materials. And if I'm working in outbound company, I ask the guy who's doing analytics to make a list of the company. He found these companies through the internet, through the different database. He found your company. He found a lot of information that he can find in the open sources, and he puts this in the internet. And the salesman, he gets in contact with you, with your company, and he's starting to negotiating with you about, hello, we have, are you a construction company and you have also food industry? I say, okay, do you have problems in your organizational structure? Do you have problems with your team, with your motivation, with your business processes? Do you have problems with attracting new customers? Do you need to improve your funnels to attract your customers better? Yeah. Do you need to do this? Do you need to manage your cash flow better, to manage your finances better? Do you need to make a more precise regular management in your company? And if you say, yes, I need to do this, okay, let's talk, we have an offer for you. So it will be outbound, okay? And now you need to have more outbound approach in your business. This is how it works. Okay, let's continue. The next thing that you need to do is today you are working in a situation when you need to surround yourself with effective businessmen. So you need to look everywhere. If you are, if you have some business clubs in your area, for example, that unites different systematic businessmen, it's very important to be surrounded. It's very important to exchange opinions. So you know, I recommend you to make an advisory board for your company. It's very important. So you find people who are who have enough knowledge about business, about maybe your industry, and you invite them to be advisors of your company, to advisory board. You can have different conditions how you negotiate with them, why they will come. So maybe you pay them, maybe they are your friends, or you help to each other. But it's important to have this advisory board today, and to be surrounded with effective businessmen, with well-motivated businessmen, with whom you are talking and you understand, yes, thanks to this guy, I'm talking with him regularly, and my motivation gets higher, and I get some advices, some good ideas that help me to improve my business. Because now it's the price of good idea is very high, because now you don't have right to not to change. You don't have right not to change. So you need to change now. And if you get a good idea in a moment when you need it, so it can cost you a fortune. So it's very important now to surround yourself with effective business people. For example, you can create an advisory board. It's a very good way to please think about it. It can help you a lot. And one more thing that you need to do right now, you need to have a very good personal time management of the highest level. If you don't have your personal calendar, if you don't have your personal task management, if you do not have good priority management in your calendar, in your task management, so now you need to be very effective, much more effective than in a regular way. So every morning you wake up, you have your day split into parts, and you have every part of your day is very effective part. So if you have meeting, it's very effective meeting. If you are working with some documents, it's you understand that yes, it's the best way where I can spend time right now. So it's very important to have a very good time management. It's one more thing that you need to understand now. So guys, please give me a feedback. Is this information that I'm giving to you on this online masterclass, is it helpful to you? Do you find some good ideas? Is it maybe motivating you, or do you have some ideas how to improve your business? Because we are discussing different topics. We are talking already more than 1 hour, and we covered a lot of things. It's true that I cannot get too deep during a small online session, too deep into many questions, because for me it's important always to get deep, to find some specific instrument. But as today we have an online, a short online meeting, so I cannot go too deep, and I need to get feedback for you. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, yeah, it's sure that the crisis is not forever. It's sure, I'm doing business. By the way, please write down, is it your first crisis on the market, or you was already doing business in the year, for example, 2008, 2009? So did you had crises, economic crises in your business experience before? It's also very interesting. Because for me it's not a first crisis, and I tell you exactly. So I'm very calm right now. So I'm working a lot. My team is working a lot, but we are very calm, and we get a lot of customers now coming, because now every company who is not effective, who has gaps in efficiency in their company, they understand this is my problem. You know, when you are not in good form, you know, when you are not very sportive, and you don't need to go to Olympic Games, you know, to some you don't have strong competition, so it's okay. But when you understand that tomorrow you need to compete, and the world becomes more aggressive, you know, every market, your competitors becomes more aggressive. You need to be more effective. And now that's why we work a lot now with companies, helping them to improve the structures, to improve business models, to build these effective funnels. By the way, please write down, do you feel that you need also such a way of help? Do you need external support of changes of your business? Just give me a feedback. Do you feel that it can be helpful to you, and you understand that with such a support you can pass through the crisis in more, you know, to be more sure and to do more specific steps and to make less mistakes and to yeah. Okay, yeah, I see that's the first crisis. Don't worry, for those of you who is the first crisis, the crisis is normal for business. Okay, I will explain you how we as a business constructor company, we can help you. By the way, I would like to say that during the period of change, and now we have a period of change, the biggest fortunes in the world are made. And here we can be helpful to you to help you to pass this crisis, because we are doing this for a long time, and you know, me and my team, we are very professional in building organizational structure, in financial management, in finding a good competitive strategy, in building business models, in building a good inbound and outbound funnels. And we have different products that you can use working with us, but today we have a product that is the best for the actual period of change, and it's called Anti-Crisis. So it's not the first time that we are doing this program. It's a 2-month program. It's a 2-month program of working with you from our part. So how does it happen? What this program represents? This is 2 months of very intensive work. Almost every day we are working with you, almost every day. So we have 8 modules. Each module, it's about 3-4 days. We start with your personal effectiveness and your way of leadership during the crisis. And we help you to build effective time management, task management, to implement the software needed for this, to change the model of leadership if you have problems with this. This is the basic of this program. The next thing, we set up a cash flow management system. We help you to set up a cash flow management system in your company. We give you example templates. You adapt it to your business. You send it back to us. We correct it. So we are all the time, we are in exchange of information, and thus we help you to focus on the most important things that you need to do right now, and to improve step by step in your business. And you will work on the exact questions that you need to work right now in this period. The next thing, we help you to adapt your business model to changing market. Here you will learn some information about different competitive strategies that you need to work. You will define your target market. You will split it into segments, and you will develop a concept of ideal products that you want to supply to this market. You will compare it to your competitors, and you will make research of your competitors. We will give you some advices how to do this. You will show this to us. We will discuss this. So almost every day we will be in discussion during 2 months. And me personally, I'm involved in this. So once a week you have a meeting with me where I'm helping you to find the strategy for your business. The next thing, the next model, we work through a rapid sales increase strategy. We defined which kind of funnels you need in your business, how you can build a system to attract new customers and to keep this, to retain this, your customer base, because it's very important to have this, to grow your LTV. So here we look at internet strategies. So I will show you different digital marketing strategies that will help you to generate leads and to sell them systematically. We will look how to work with CRM system effectively, how to define metrics, the dashboard of sales, how to train your team well in sales. We will give you a lot of advice how to rise the quality of sales of your team. By the way, it's very probable that during this program you will fire someone in a company. It's also normal because I'm always giving you a high standards of working with personnel, and we will stimulate you to build a strong team, and we will give you advice how to hire, to find a good people in your company if you have now some problems in your team. Then the next thing, we will work through organizational structure, and we will see your organizational structure and give you advices how to change it. If you do not have a good organizational structure, you will build it very quickly. So the program is very intensive. You will have a lot of work, but it's very important work. And every day you will say, it's very good that I'm here with these guys because they're helping me a lot. And this I can promise you, because we are working for 7 years with a different kind of business. Staff optimization. We work with your personnel and we see with whom you should continue to work and whom you need to fire. So we will do this ABC analysis of the staff, and we will define who is corresponding to your requirements in terms of soft skills and hard skills, and with, who is not corresponding, and you need to fire these people. So we will discuss this question. And the next thing you need, we will work with business valuation and sale of business. Why you need this model, why it's important? Because some of you may decide to close your business. It's normal. It's normal that, for example, if you don't like your business. I know many business people who are working in their company, but they say, I don't like this business, I hate this business, and now they're in crisis, and it's very hard for them. And if you understand that your business is falling and you do not have decision how to rise it up, it's better to sell the business than to sell laptops and furniture after, because you will get less money. So we will look how to evaluate your business, to know the price of your business. We will discuss different methods for this, and we will look how to find investors and or buyers for your business. It doesn't mean that you need to sell your business. Maybe you will decide to sell a share of your business, a part of your business, to some investor. To get money, it's better to get smart money, when this investor, it also helps you to in your business, and thus you keep your business, and you don't have some loans, some credits, but you sell some small share of your business, and you get money that help you to survive during the business. Sometimes it can be helpful also. You can also decide to close or to sell some department or some store. For example, you are maybe a network of restaurants, and you decide to sell 2 restaurants. Okay, we will discuss this. So it's very important model as well. And the model 8 is called Restart Up. How to restart your business. For those who decide to close, or for those who decide to start a new business during this crisis, this will be very helpful, because here we show how to look for good ideas, for good opportunities to run a new business during the crisis, how to test this opportunity, and what are the steps that you need to do to run this business. So every model is very practical. It's not the education. It's 30% education, 70% working on your business, not on theoretical cases, on your business. And you are working with us through special online software. So it's an educational system. It's a learning management system where you pass step by step every module. You get lessons that you learn. You can review them as many times as you need. You can look them together with your team, and you are getting examples of every document. You get example of cash flow, of organizational structure, of different, for example, SWOT analysis of your business. You get standards for personnel. So there is a big database of documents that you can use, the templates that that you can use for yourself. And you have a personal business consultant who is working with you. So you work with me once a week during our special online meetings, but you have also personal business consultant who is connected to your company, and you are in contact with this person every day. So you are sending, he's giving you task, you do this task in your company, you're sending back the results, he's checking. These guys are very professional because they are working, all of them are working for me more than 5 years, 7 years, some of them work for 7 years, and they are very experienced. They have a lot of experience working with different types of businesses, so you will get a lot of help from this. So how the program is organized. You watch online lessons every week. You will need a few hours to watch these lessons every week. Then you can review them in case you need it. You have a lot of tasks. It will be a very important task. You build your cash flow management. You make restructurization of your structure. You build your funnels. You make new competitive strategy, or you change your business model. So it will be very practical. And you have a personal business consultant who is supporting you, who is correcting all your tasks, checking all your tasks, and you are staying in contact with him all the time. Also, you have a weekly online sessions with me. I'm like a CEO of the company. I'm always trying to give personal help to every customer of our company. So every week, you write me all your questions. Some of you will have 1 question, some of you will have 25 questions. So you're writing all your questions, and for each question, I'm giving you personal support. So we will discuss this question. I will show you how to adapt your actual business to the crisis, to this situation. By the way, it will be very interesting for you to listen to other cases, because we work together in a group online, and one by one we look on your cases. We work on your cases, and you will hear which advices and which answers I'm giving to others, and it will be also very helpful to you. Also, you will have advisory boards with experienced businessmen, because we unite you into advisory boards. For example, you are 5 persons in a group on this program, and you are connected into advisory board, and you have special meetings where we organize some specific logic of giving advice between you. So you are helping each other. It's also very helpful for your business. You will have a closed chat where you can exchange opinions, and you can talk with you. It will be a group special online chat where you can communicate. And after the program, you have 4 weeks additional watch-only access to the material. So 2 months active work, and then 4 weeks watch-only access. And it's very important that you have a big library of documents that you can use also in your business. Here you have a small list of these documents. I can promise you that every document, if you will develop it yourself, it will take 3, 4, 5 hours of your work. And it's not sure that you will do a good document, for example, a cash flow forecast. For example, here you will have a template for organizational structure. You have a set of key sales indicators that help you to manage your sales. It's very good database, of templates, and only this database, it costs more than the cost of the whole program, because we did the price of the program very comfortable, that you can afford it. And the cost of any small mistakes or any small waiting, not doing some actions, will cost you much more than the cost of this program. So this program is an accelerator for you. It will accelerate changes, and it will help you to do the right steps. And when we have chosen the price of the program, we decided to define a price that for these 2 months you pay approximately the same amount that you pay to the average employee in your company. So you have some good employee in your company who is good, who is doing good job. He's quite smart. He's helping you, and you pay him some salary for 2 months. Yeah? And we decided to do the price of as we work with you for 2 months, you know. But you are working with a business consultant. You are working personally with me, and we are giving you a big support for your business. So we decided to define the price as, you know, a salary of a good, smart employee in your company for these 2 months. So now the price of the company is $1,000. But the good news is that for today's viewers of our online workshop, we are doing a special offer. Just this offer is valid for 5 participants. Five participants can get a special offer for $699 US. So it's, if we take 2 months of work, so it will be about $350 per month. So it's less than a smart employee, the salary of smart employee in a company. But you get very strong support during these 2 months. By the way, below this window, you have a button how to get this price. Below this window you have a button. You can click on this button. You get to the page of this anti-crisis program, and you have a registration form. You fill this registration form, you send it, and the price is fixed for you. The program starts soon, so there are few days until the start of the program. Our manager will inform you the date of the start of the programs. But to get this special price, you need to register today. So if you do not fill the form right now by clicking on the banner below and filling this form, you do not get this special price. And the price is valid for first 5 registrations that we get. The 6th, the 7th, the 8th registrations that we get will get the price of $1,000 US. So if you want to fix this price for you, please fill down this form. If you are ready, if you understand that you need it, you need this product, and you don't need to think, you are ready to start, and you even don't need to wait to ask some more questions. So you can even pay right now, because there is a payment form. So you fill this registration form, you will be offered to pay online. And if you pay online right now, so you will be registered right now to the program, then in this case you will get an additional 1 month of support of this online meetings with me. So for those who pay online, who register and pay online right now, you will get not 2 months of support with me, but 3 months. You have an additional month. For those who pay online and who register right now and pay online. So this is a very intensive program. It will be, I do not promise you that it will be easy. It will be not easy. We will have a lot of work to do, but I can promise you that after 2 weeks on this program, you will say, thank you very much that I'm here, because I'm doing very important job that I would not do myself. And myself, I can be unfocused, I can lose time, and thanks to this program, I'm moving fastly, and I'm doing right things, and I have a good support. This good support, I can promise you. Okay, so it's what I wanted to tell you about this. Those who are ready to register, please click on the banner to fill registration form. As I told you, if you are ready to connect to the program, you can pay online, and in such case you will get 1 additional month of support. In case if you are not ready, you need to take some time to take decision. You just fill registration form, you send it. Yes, you cannot pay online. Our manager will get in contact with you, and he will ask all your questions. He will discuss with you all your actual situation, your business, how we can help you, and you will decide. You will have a week to decide either to enter or not to this program. But if you are ready to get in right now, you have 1 additional month, but for this you need to pay online. Okay, if you have any question, please write it down. I will answer this question. Yeah, okay, I see the question. I see the question. Paul is asking, just thinking with the economy down, how can it impact the strategies you are suggesting, given that they seem to be focused on getting customers? I mean, these customers, I assume, are also in crisis and are probably not in the position to spend much. Thanks. Okay. Look, when I'm saying that not every market will, I'm saying that every market will get smaller, but it will not get to zero, you know. If you, for example, if you take the forecast, there are many companies like S&P, for example. They're doing forecast of change in economical dynamics, yes? And they're forecasting, they're saying that, for example, the global world economy, S&P makes a forecast, and they're saying the global world economy will fall down for 2.5% this year. The European countries will have more fall deeply. They will fall for 7 and something percent. I think United States, they make forecasts 5%. But what does it mean? It means that all the markets will fall, will get smaller. So if we take GDP is the indicator of the global economy of every country. So the GDP will get smaller for example, 5%. Okay, not 50%, 5%. It means that the turnover in every industry will continue. So there will be always clients who will continue to pay. And those who were passing the crises during the year 2008, 2009, you remember this. I know, you know, I was managing during the crisis 2008, 2009. I was the CEO of a company who was a supplier of construction materials, where we were selling pipes for external engineering networks. We were selling valves, different valves for closing, you know, these pipes. And I was distributor of 9 European brands like Saint-Gobain, Tyco, Flowserve, big companies. And I was working on construction market. And in the crisis 2008, there was a big problem on construction market. There was a big collapse. I think the construction market dropped down at about 60%, I think, 60%. Only 40% of market left, but it left, you know. Well, I was with a partner, and when the situation happens at the end of 2008, we see that most of our clients, they stop ordering, they stop paying. So we had a problem. And the first idea when you are scared, you're thinking, I need to close the business, I cannot afford to stay on this market. But then you start to think, and you are asking yourself, are all the companies on the market closing? Or there are still companies who continue to order, for example, on construction market, who continue to build buildings. And we look through the market, we speak with different companies, and we see that no, it's okay. There are many companies who continue to work. But we need to build a strong information management. And this is for B2B companies, the good suggestion for B2B companies. And you are asking the strategy. And what we're doing in that situation. We understand that we need a good management of information flows. So we hired at the beginning 1 analytic guy, then we hired 2 more. So we had 3 analytics who were looking through different sources of information. We were brainstorming and looking for different sources of information, where we can find information about potential construction sites and construction company. And they were researching from the internet and offline. They were looking all around to find this information. And every day we were finding new construction objects. Some were closed, some were still active. We started to work with all the architectural companies who were developing projects for this construction site. And we were looking, and every day we were getting new leads into our CRM system. And we started to hire sales manager. We built a strong sales education system. And on this program, Anti-Crisis, we will also show this to you, because you know you don't have right to have weak sales managers, sales people in your company who are trying to go to your client. Please buy buy this phone. No, you don't need it. Okay, thank you. They don't need this phone. No, they need to have a good negotiation strategy. They need to be very effective as salesmen. So and we will show you how to create an internal training for them, how to make it automatic, with how to film video for this training, how to put it into the learning management system, and to create the attestation for this person. So thus we were so in this business that I'm talking about, in my experience, we were growing despite of the crisis. So 2008, we at the end of the year we had the problem, we had the lack of sales, but 2009 we started to grow. When the whole market was falling, we started to grow. Then we started to look, okay, for us the construction market is not enough for us. Where we have money on the market, and we decided that okay, we go to to other industries. For example, we found many clients among metallurgical plants. We found a lot of potential clients in energetics, because we have we look to our products. We sell big valves, big ball valves for closing different flows. So before we were selling this valves for construction sites, but we can sell it to energetics, to electrical stations, to metallurgical plants. So we started finding new segments of client, and thanks to this we were growing very fastly. And when the markets started to turn and they started growing, we became even bigger. So it's very it doesn't give you guarantees that you will grow despite of the crisis, but you need to do them, the maximum to be successful despite of the crisis. It's very important. Okay. Okay. Yeah. I see. It's very funny that you are working also in this industry. Yes. So you need you may know. Yeah. You may know this. I know this business very well. So you may know Saint-Gobain. Yes. You should know Saint-Gobain. They produce mostly glasses for the windows, but they have Pont-à-Mousson PAM division that is producing big pipes, big valves. Maybe you know their Chinese competitor is called Xing. Xing is a big competitor who is producing also big pipes. You may also work with valves companies. So I understand this business very well. I understand the customers, the logic. So I think here we can help you, sure, of course. If you're living in a third world country where the government has to funds to help you subsidize your salary of your employees, what will suggest in order to them to leave, not to leave, or still be working on a company? Today you're working in a situation where you have a lot of you need a lot of to negotiate a lot with your clients and with your employees as well. And I'm saying always small example. The business has two legs. The process of business development has two legs. You have income legs. Yes, a sales called sales leg. It's a leg that bring in new customers. It's all the activities that you are doing to bring new customers to and more sales to your business. Yes, if I'm doing step with this sales leg, it means that I'm activating new tools to attract new customers. When I'm doing step with this sales legs, I need to do sales leg. I need to do a step with a structure leg. The structure leg is the growth of your organizational structure. You cannot always do steps with your sales leg and not to grow your structure. Yes, and normally before this crisis, your company was going step by step. You do a step with your sales leg, you get bigger, you get more customers, you grow your structure, you get more expenses when you do this, and then you need to do step again with your sales leg, and thus you grow step by step. But in the times of crisis, in the times when you have this situation on the market, what happened? Your sales leg stepped back, and you have big structure and low sales. And in such situation, what you need to do? You need either to make a big stack with your sales leg, to activate your sales, to find the new tools to attract new customers, or you need to step back with your structure leg. So you cannot stay in this situation when your structure is big, you have a lot of expenses and you have low sales. You have limited time for this. So in any case, if you cannot make step with your sales leg, you will have to fire someone. It's normal. That's why I'm in the beginning of our online meeting, I was telling about ABC analysis of your structure and stop losses and cash flow management, because you cannot, you need to count the economics of your business. So, but for me, it's much more important not to lose your team, your people from your company. It's very important to do the strong step with your sales leg. And many people, many companies, they have possibility to do this because they were weak in sales. Ask yourself, ask yourself, do you think that your sales system in a company, your system of attracting new customers was on the maximum before the crisis? It was super systematic, super effective. If you understand that not, and that it's sometimes it was even a good luck that you got clients to your company. So it's not. It means that it's not systematic. And we will talk about how to make it really systematic, how to attract your customers systematically, how to build the system. And this is what I'm doing for many years, and for 7 years I'm doing it with. In business constructor company. Okay. Was the anti-crisis program also discussed different type of crisis that needs to be planned out in the industry, construction and food, for example? Look, during the program, we will look back in the history. So we take your industry together and we look back in the history and we look what happened in your industry during the crisis 2008, 2009. Because it was a similar crisis, yes? Now there are big discussions, will the actual crisis be bigger or smaller, but it's similar. The things that happened on the markets in 2008, 2009, now after this quarantine, it will be very similar. You will meet the very situations that it will look like the 2010, 2009 crisis. So we will look back at this situation. And thus we will do projection. So we will do a forecast. So you will do with our help, and you will see what to expect from the market, and you will prepare. And if you will see that your market gets very small, so you will look for other markets. So we will, for us, it's important that you don't try to keep your business model. No, I don't want to change anything in my company. No, you will. I'm sure that you need to change a lot. Inside of your company, and also in your marketing strategy, in your strategic marketing. So it will be very important. Okay, guys. Okay, thank you very much. So I'm looking forward to seeing you on this anti-crisis program. Those of you who registered and paid, you are already registered. Our manager will connect with you. And as I promised, you will have 1 extra month of meetings with me during the program. Normally it's 2 months, but you will have 3 months. Those who registered and did not pay online, so you will have standard program for 2 months, and our manager will get in contact with you, and you can ask all your questions. You will discuss the program, and then you can take a decision. The special price will be fixed for you for 1 week, so you have 1 week to take the decision. Thank you very much for being with me today. Please give me feedback. Was this helpful? Did you find some good insights for today? So did you get maybe some additional motivation for anti-crisis action? So please write it down. Okay. And in any case, I would like to thank you for this for the time you spent with me. I was trying to do my best to help you, to give you specific advices, specific tools for your business. And I'm sure that we will see each other later, so it's not the last time that we were communicating. So thank you very much, and I wish you a good evening. Thank you.